Afternoon guys, welcome to Just In Case. I'm coming to you today from my outside braai area. I should be coming to you from the kitchen, but I don't have enough space in there, so yeah. So I'm doing diverging a bit from my normal video. I'm going to make like a few episodes. And I've decided to call it Stay at Home Brew. Sorry. And yeah, I'm jumping on the pineapple beer bandwagon. So I'm going to make some pineapple beer. I need beer in my life, so yeah. So yeah, a little bit different. I'm going to make a batch of beer, not a big batch. I'm doing 6 liters per bucket. I'm doing 2 buckets, but the one bucket is not going to have pineapple in it. So the other bucket is literally just going to be almost like a vodka. It's just alcohol and water. So yeah, what's normal sugar, yeast and pineapple is going to make a beer, and that'll just be drunk after it's fermented. The vodka bucket is going to be a bit more tricky, so that's going to be water, sugar and yeast as well. No pineapple, I don't want the pineapple flavor, but then I'm going to have to distill it some way. So I've got a week to figure out how to do that. I don't have a still, but and the hardware stores are all closed. But I'll figure out a way. If push comes to shove, it'll be an alcoholic water that I can mix with juice or whatever. So yeah, slightly warm water, lukewarm water in the buckets. And I've got 2 glasses here with warm water. It might be a bit warm. It's still a little bit warm. Okay. So these 2 glasses of warm water are for my yeast to get started. So that the yeast will go in there soon. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up 2 lemons. So the lemons, I don't have anything to read the pH of the water, but I can tell you now it is definitely not going to be acidic enough. So you want your water to be slightly acidic. It helps with the whole fermentation process. So without reading the pH, I'm putting lemon in, but you know what, I can tell you now that it's not acidic enough, so this is going to help. So 1 bucket. Another 1. Okay. Now obviously these buckets have been washed and sterilized as best as I could prior to doing this. Okay. So that's going to now bring down the acidity of the water. Okay, now the yeast. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 2 bags of yeast per bucket. You need a degree to get into these things. Either a degree or a pair of scissors. No, you don't. Okay, so this water is quite warm, and that's just going to get the yeast kind of going. They've got a little notch there, so you don't need a degree. Yeah, missed the notch. Okay, let's do that. Kind of mixed in. Okay, so that's going to start doing its thing. Alright, so as I said, one is just going to be alcohol and the other one's going to be beer. Okay, so as I said, the one is going to be just plain alcohol and the other one is going to be pineapple flavored or pineapple beer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me chop up these pineapples. I'll show you what to do with these later. I have quite a nifty trick that worked last time. So now this is going to the beer. Now the beer is obviously not going to go through any kind of still or anything. So before I brought these out here, I did wash them quite thoroughly. You don't want dirt and crap on the outside. And the reason for that is that we aren't going to be, all the skin is going to be going in to the beer. So we're not chucking away any of the skin, just chucking away the bottoms. Okay, so let's chop this up. So now obviously with pineapple beer, you are still getting quite a bit of the sugar from the pineapple itself, but at the end of the day you don't need the pineapple in there to make alcohol. You just need the sugar. Okay, so we're just going to do pineapple. Let's make that one pineapple. Yeah. This is very messy, very juicy. Reminds me of Juicy Lucy. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting to see how this works out, because I've never made pineapple beer. I know I might sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't really. But it would be interesting to see how it works out, because if you've got 6 liters of water, plus all the juice in the pineapple, plus the yeast, call it 7 liters. Let's say you end up with 6 liters. For what it costs, it's a very cheap way to drink. But that's if it tastes good or not. We'll find out in a week's time. The vodka style one is even cheaper because you don't have to fork out for the pineapples. I mean, I'm going to use 1.5 kgs in the vodka mix of sugar, plus some yeast and a lemon. You're probably talking like, just going to wash my hands quick. Yeah, you're probably talking $30 worth, so it'll be interesting to see how much alcohol it makes. So I don't know if you can see, if I hold it up to the camera, it's already starting to do its hubbly bubbly stuff, which is good. Okay. Alright, so now let's add some sugar. So I'm adding a little bit less sugar than I would normally. Well, this is 2.5 kilograms. I'm putting 1.5 roughly in the vodka bucket, and about 1, like I say, roughly. I'm just going to thumb suck it. Yeah, that's about right. A bit more here. Alright. Okay, so I've got my 2 buckets. One's got pineapple, one is plain. Now, obviously I need to get this mixed up. I'm not really ambidextrous, but I'm going to try and dissolve as much of the sugar as possible. It's like one of those weird preschool exercises that you do to get your cohorts right. Anyway, let me mix this up and then I'll come back to you soon. Okay, that's pretty mixed. So there you can see the yeast. Oh, where's the camera? Okay, it looks all lovely and goodness. So that is going to go into the vodka mix. Just give it a stir. It sounds nasty. Okay. Then it doesn't actually need to stir. Okay, I'm not closing it proper because I don't want it to pop if there's too much gas produced, because obviously the yeast is going to be breathing out CO2 and basically pissing out alcohol. Yeah. Alright, so here is the one for the pineapples. Lovely. Yummy in the tummy. Okay, this is an odd shaped bucket, so I'm actually going to just give this a quick little, just to mix it in. Okay, and this bucket actually has a little lid thing, so it is not going to pop, so I'll just stick that on, and any gas will just escape through the flip lid. Alright, so there are my two buckets. They're going to go into my garage in a dark corner, and they're going to sit there. I'm going to check on them maybe once every 2 days, just to give them a quick stir, and that's it. And then in about a week, then I'll come back with another video and we'll see if any of it works. I hope it works. If it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. It's probably only like $50 worth of stuff to try. That's like one beer at the pub anyway. So thanks guys. Oh, hang on, I wanted to show you this. So if you want to do if you want to grow some pineapples, so what you can do with these guys, let me come a bit closer. Okay, so what you do with this guy is just remove all the pineapple flesh. I'll show you now when Okay, so I've removed all the pineapple flesh, and then what you do is, it's a little bit time consuming, but you peel all the leaves off. You can probably do a few at a time, and I'll speed it up for you. You want to go quite far. You want to like leave, you want to kind of leave that. Okay, so let me do that. You could probably do a few at a time, but you know what, it's therapeutic to do them one at a time. In fact, we need something to do. Now, I've done this before, a couple of months ago, and it definitely works, and it's really simple. That's kind of where I want it to be. Let me take a bit more off. Yeah. Okay, in fact no, let me take a bit more off. You don't want too many leaves on, because obviously the more leaves you have, the more transpiration you have. But it doesn't really matter because it's going to be in water. So what you do is you take that, let me bring it a bit closer so you can see. Is it going to focus? Okay, so you can see all these little magolies sticking out the side here. You submerge that in water, in like a cup or a, what did I use, a chutney bottle or something. Pop it in, make sure that that's submerged, and after a few weeks you'll actually see roots coming, and once the roots are there you pop that in the ground, and don't expect a crop because it takes a couple of years, and I think you get one. But you know what, they look cool, they're nice plants. Alright guys, yeah, I'll be back in about a week, and we'll see if any of it's worked out. Thanks, ciao.